Welcome to The Revealer. Subscribe and press the bell icon for updates. On July 23, 2025, Tel Aviv's streets hum with a language few expect. Tagalog, the national language of the Philippines. In parks, cafes, and homes, Israeli children call to their parents in fluent Filipino, teenagers joke in Tagalog slang, and even grandparents greet each other in this Southeast Asian tongue. This isn't a passing fad or a niche hobby, it's a cultural phenomenon woven into the city's daily life. Tagalog isn't confined to immigrant enclaves, it's part of mainstream Israeli society, especially in urban centers like Tel Aviv. Picture a playground, an Israeli mother calls, "Halika dito." Her child responds, blending Hebrew and Filipino as if it's the most natural thing in the world. Bedtime stories and lullabies are shared in both languages, soothing Israeli babies to sleep. Outsiders are left wondering, how did a language from 5,000 miles away become a second mother tongue here? The answer isn't found in government policy or formal education. There are no state-funded Tagalog classes. This is a story written in daily family life, nurtured by love and mutual respect. Filipino caregivers, once hired for practical needs, have become mentors, confidants, and cherished family members. They bring not just skills but warmth, tradition, and language. In return, Israeli families have opened their homes and hearts, forging a unique bond that now spans generations. The sound of Tagalog on Israeli streets is the sound of family. This is a story of connection, quietly growing for decades, now impossible to ignore. This phenomenon isn't the result of official campaigns or school programs, it's a grassroots movement born from the reality of human relationships. Filipino caregivers came to Israel to work, but they brought their whole selves, building bonds that transcended the employer-employee dynamic. In thousands of homes, a Filipino metapolit became a central figure, there for first steps, first words, and milestone celebrations. Over time, they became family. Tagalog became the language of care, whispered to babies, spoken in encouragement, and woven into daily life. Israeli children absorbed Tagalog naturally, learning words like salamat and mahal kita alongside Hebrew. This wasn't formal education. It was learning through living and loving. Parents and grandparents picked up Tagalog too, eager to connect and show gratitude. Cultural exchange became a two-way street, Jewish traditions shared, Filipino songs and recipes embraced. The relationship grew beyond contracts, built on kindness, shared humanity, and the universal language of family. Tagalog became a bridge, not just between individuals, but between cultures. The result, a generation for whom Filipino culture is as familiar as their own. This is integration at its most personal and profound. It's a testament to the power of daily acts of care. To understand this bond, we must look back to 1947. At the UN, the Philippines cast a decisive yes vote for the creation of Israel, the only Asian country to do so. This act of friendship was never forgotten. It created a reservoir of goodwill, shaping how Israelis welcomed Filipino workers decades later. Filipinos arrived not just as laborers but as friends from a nation that had stood by Israel at a critical moment. This history is part of Israel's national consciousness, taught in schools and remembered by leaders. The gratitude for that vote translated into respect for Filipino caregivers. When a Filipino entered an Israeli home, they were seen through a lens of appreciation. The relationship was never just transactional, it was rooted in shared history and mutual kindness. The seeds of friendship planted in 1947 blossomed in the most personal of places, the family home. The journey from caregiver to family member happened gradually through countless acts of devotion. Filipino caregivers became emotional anchors, staying up with sick children, comforting the elderly, and celebrating every milestone. Their faces fill family photo albums not as staff but as cherished members at the center of every celebration. Israeli children beg for Filipino lullabies. Elderly parents respond to Tagalog's gentle tones. Caregivers become keepers of memories and bridges between generations. Israeli families in turn advocate for their caregivers, celebrate Filipino holidays, and support families back in the Philippines. The lines between family and caregiver blur, expanding the definition of kin. Two cultures merge, creating a new, blended identity built on love and support. The home becomes a place where histories and traditions intertwine. This is how a new family fabric is woven, one thread at a time. Step inside these homes and you'll find a symphony of cultures. The kitchen is alive with the aromas of shakshuka and chicken adobo, matzo ball soup and pancit. Food becomes a shared language, mealtimes a daily ritual of cultural exchange. Israeli families celebrate Filipino Christmases, caregivers join in Jewish holidays, lighting Hanukkah candles and preparing for Passover. Traditions blend, deepening everyone's sense of belonging. Language too becomes a playful mix, Tagalog and Hebrew merging into a unique family dialect. Children reply, "Okay, Po," to Hebrew requests, and conversations flow seamlessly between both languages. This isn't confusion, it's deep integration. Filipino folk songs and Israeli TV shows fill the evenings, laughter bridges any gap. For these children, Filipino culture isn't foreign, it's part of home. They grow up as global citizens, learning empathy and understanding at the family table. This is what true cultural fusion looks like, lived, not taught. These deep connections have led to something even more profound: blended Israeli-Filipino families. Romantic relationships have formed, crossing cultural and national boundaries. Their children grow up speaking both Hebrew and Tagalog, celebrating Hanukkah and Christmas, and feeling at home in two worlds. These families are living bridges, embodying love and mutual respect. Learning each other's language becomes an act of love and commitment. Language is the vehicle for intimacy, allowing couples to share their deepest thoughts and build a shared future. These families challenge traditional notions of identity, proving that shared values matter more than shared backgrounds. They navigate dual citizenship, religious differences, and long-distance ties with resilience. Their stories are a testament to the open-heartedness that began with a historic vote and grew in everyday life. They are the next chapter in Israel's evolving story of connection. In the end, this is a story about gratitude and human connection. It began with a nation's gratitude for a political gesture, grew with a family's gratitude for care, and blossomed into a generation's gratitude for a new cultural identity. This chain of gratitude has created a bond stronger than any treaty. The Israeli-Filipino connection is a powerful counter-narrative to stories of division. It shows that true integration happens in daily life, through kindness and respect. The children of Tel Aviv who speak Tagalog are living proof of this connection. They carry two cultures, growing up more open and inclusive. Family for them is defined by love, not blood or nationality. This story reminds us that unity is built on small daily acts of kindness. The bond between Israelis and Filipinos is a shining example of how gratitude and human connection can unite nations in the most beautiful ways.